Hey, what's up? I'm Joel Madden, and this is Artist Friendly. On this episode, I'm talking to Grammy Award winning, Brit Award winning, multi-platinum singer-songwriter Joss Stone. Let's go.
I'm not smoking on gas, I'm smoking on piff, that's my kind. I don't want no bad times, I don't want to have bad.
It's funny though, it is a real thing.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Humans, they want that for some reason. It's like the stress shit that happens in your brain and your body. It's like people that want to go on roller coasters. That's me. I actually do like those. But I don't like horror movies. Why do people like horror movies?
My wife loves horror movies and I can't stand it because she watches them for like comfort.
Yeah, for fun. They're just before bed too.
Like before bed. She's like, I'm going to go upstairs and watch a horror movie.
Yeah, I'm going
like,
to go watch someone get like,
she's like in
stabbed
sweats.
a million times.
It's really weird.
Why?
You know,
that is interesting though, isn't
there's
it?
got to be a deeper, like some trauma or something that's, I don't know.
Or maybe they haven't had the traumas that we've had.
Maybe.
And that's why we can't watch it.
I can't watch violence that much.
I can't even do Harry Potter or Game of Thrones.
Really?
No, because scary. I don't like the guy with
I liked Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Aren't they all stabbing each other and stuff?
Yeah, that was...
And like shoving pokers up each other's asses, trying to kill each other like that.
Yeah.
That was the episode
But it
came
was
across.
like, it's like sci-fi. It's kind of like, it's not real. And it's like this like Dungeons and Dragons almost. Like
I do like the dragons.
done really well.
I liked when the lady made friends with the dragon.
To me, Game of Thrones was like Dungeons and Dragons done like really dramatic and really well. In my mind, like that's where I go growing up with like Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, which I didn't play, but I was like a nerd and I liked all that stuff. Pokemon, this, that. So Game of Thrones to me was like a very dramatic, beautiful Dungeons and Dragons.
With blood everywhere.
Yeah, with like violence. It's
a lot, man.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Okay, so Cody put on Deadpool the other night.
That's funny.
It was funny, right? So I was like, I can watch this, right? And then the violence happened.
It's so much.
I was like, oh my God. No, I need a pillow for that. Just a pillow or make a cup of tea in those moments.
Do you really cover your eyes?
Yeah. I can't see it because if I see it.
Can't unsee it.
If it's in there, it's in there.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually seeing it now while I'm talking to you. I don't want to see
Yeah,
that.
you're re-seeing it.
I'm re-seeing it. I don't want to re-see it.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's weird, isn't it? Don't put it in my head because otherwise it'll come back later. I don't want it.
How long have you been married?
A year.
Oh, that's great.
Almost.
Is it good? You enjoying it?
It's really nice,
First year, I would say like the first year is all kinds of things.
Yeah.
It's like really great.
Have you been married for how long?
I've been married for 14 years in December.
Oh, wow. Okay. So tell me, when did you get married in your relationship?
4 years in.
Okay.
We had 2 kids and then we were like, we should maybe get
Literally
married.
the same for us.
We were like, we have these 2 kids. They look like us.
You're like, oh.
They have our last name.
Or your last name.
That's an interesting question. My daughter has her last name, which is hyphenated.
Okay.
Richie Madden.
Yeah.
My son just has my last name.
Why?
I don't know.
That's so interesting. Okay, so Cody said to me he didn't care about the last name thing. He totally cared about it.
Yeah. As
He
a man,
lied.
you care.
Right?
Yeah, you do.
So he's like, I don't care. I'll take your name. Okay, yeah. This is all just like in the flirting stages of us being together.
Yeah.
That is just not the case.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't mind. I'm very traditional. I'd love to take your name one day. I think that's like really sweet.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
I just really think it's a lovely thing. I don't see the negativity in it.
None.
I think it's really nice. But then when I had Violet, so Violet's name is Violet Melissa Deleuze. And I was like, oh, but what if someone tries to take her from me? You know, like what if I get pulled over and they don't think I'm her mum or something and our names are different and I don't know, like it just like worried me. So then when we had Shaq and I was like, I know we're going to get married one day.
One day we'll get
But
married.
right now,
kind of how we felt.
we don't share the same last name. So, so when we had Shaq, I wanted to give him 4 names. And Cody was like, that's too many names.
We gave him a lot of names too.
Did you?
Yeah.
So we have Shackleton, Stoker, Deleuze. That's my last name in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's not a hyphenated last name.
But it's in the middle.
But it's in there.
Yeah, I like that.
So I can be like, okay, it's there.
That's smart.
But now poor Shaq has last name, last name, last name. He has no first name anywhere in there.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
So I wanted to call him Shackleton Theodore Stoker Deleuze.
Which
if you
is
want, you
great.
can call
That's
him
a strong
Teddy.
name.
I know, but no, Cody, that's too many names, girl. You're getting crazy. But I love it. I love the 4-name thing.
I do too.
What did you give your kids?
Let's see. Well, my daughter has 5 names.
Okay, go. Hit me.
Harlow, Winter, Kate, Richie, Madden.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Winter is the second name?
Harlow, Winter, Kate, Richie, Madden.
Love it. So hang on. Is Richie
doesn't love
Madden?
it.
Is Richie Madden
Last name, hyphenated.
That's one?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So then she can pick. She's got choices.
She has lots of choices.
Yeah.
And she certainly does.
Yeah.
My son, Sparrow, James, Midnight, Madden.
Oh my gosh, these are good names.
Very strong names.
It's very strong, yeah.
It's like, you better do something.
Yeah. It's good. Or do nothing, drink beer, chill out, and just have a cool name.
And just have a cool name.
At least you got something,
Yeah.
even if you do nothing. What is in a name? Oh my God, naming children is so hard.
It's so hard.
It's so hard.
And then especially if you're like anyone who's in entertainment and that anyone knows.
Oh yeah.
You're going to get just ripped apart for
You
your
are.
name choices.
Oh, it's so
All
true.
of these people think they are.
Yeah,
Giving
exactly.
their kids names.
Yeah, giving them names at all.
Yeah. Naming them.
Yeah. It's boring or it's too
Name
fabulous.
them Bill.
Yeah. John.
Bill or nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, okay.
Oh my God. I had Violet in Tennessee and I had written down her name on the birth certificate. I'd had this name for ages and all the grandparents were like, that's not, no,
Oh, that's not the name.
which is so annoying,
Yeah.
right? So I wrote it down. I was like super high because they give you all these drugs in there when you've been cut open and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I've got and I thought I was going to have time. In England, you can take your baby home for a month without naming them.
Right.
And it's like, cool, you just have to within the month. Otherwise, you get a knock on the door.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that time. And Cody was like, just name her. Okay, so I'm going to go with this name. And all the nurses couldn't say it. It was so annoying. So I had to change it. So her name was, for a couple hours, it was Nalima Rose.
Nalima.
Isn't that
That's
nice?
sweet.
You said it perfect.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Not hard to say.
And they were like, Malala, Shabla, Nanala. No, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Is this going to happen for the rest of her life?
Yeah.
But yeah, it just got in my head.
So then you went with
Violet.
Violet Rose.
Violet. No, it was supposed to be Violet Rose. She was called Baby Rose for a second. It was supposed to be that, but that didn't sit well with me. She
Right,
was supposed to be
two
Nalima
flowers.
Rose. And I was like, something's not sitting
Yeah,
right.
now I can't use Rose.
I can't
because-
use that because that was with Nalima. And
So
it's
now
like,
what is it?
So now this is where it gets like not nice story. So my auntie Melissa, she got COVID and she died
Oh, that's terrible.
the day after Violet was born.
Mm.
And I so wanted her to meet my little girl. Like she was such a fun, vibrant, she was a teacher. She was just like this beautiful woman. And anyway, so that happened and I called my mum and she told me and I was like, oh, that's why she was supposed to be a Violet and not Nalima because the middle name was supposed to be Melissa.
Mm.
And
That's really sweet.
Nalima Melissa would have been too much. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's why I'm like struggling. And I just thought, okay, there you go. So now we have Melissa with us forever. And
Forever,
then,
yeah.
Violet can ask questions about her name and she'll get.
There's a deep meaning there that's really,
nice.
really nice.
Yeah. You take someone with you.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Lovely thing.
Timing is so hard to understand, but it's so,
Got to trust it.
yeah, it's so right.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's painful,
I know.
you know?
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
hard to
Until you
believe.
get there.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, that's why that happened. Okay. All right. Yeah.
But it's back to what we were talking about with people's fixation and their interest with watching these kind of horrific things on social media.
Yeah.
I think it's something like human beings making sense of like the actual reality of life is that it's like pain and suffering.
But you know what? It's up to you to choose how you see it.
Absolutely.
So it's the half full, half empty
Absolutely.
discussion, isn't it? It's like,
You
how
get
do we
what
want
you're
to see
looking
this?
for.
Yeah, you really do.
You do.
You really do. So I have had this thought in my mind for a long time, actually. When I was about 21, I think.
Which was what, like 3 years ago?
No, I wish. Oh my
Oh,
God. you're kidding
please.
me. No, I'm 37. So I was
Tell me your
touring a lot.
skincare routine, please.
You know, nothing really. Some lip balm every now and then. So I had been touring a lot and traveling the world a lot. And I thought, my God, there's so much love everywhere. There's so much light. But of course I see that. I'm entertaining people.
Yeah, you're making them happy.
I'm literally like, I am the party. So I'm seeing them at the party.
And they're projecting their love and their happiness at
in that
you
moment. Yeah.
because that's what your music does for them.
Exactly.
And that's why they're there.
Yes. So it's sort of like this echo chamber of like good feeling. So you can be very wrong. Actually, the world could be in tatters and you're just having a nice time at each night. You know what I mean? So I got it in my mind that I wanted to like test the theory. I think 95% of people are just good. They're just pure good love
so.
and joy.
Yeah.
And there's the 5% of major assholes that they make huge ripple
Problems.
effects.
Yeah.
So I thought I need to go and find out. So I did a world tour and I went to every country in the world and I just had a little look for myself. And I did the gig, which of course is the joy. It's always the joy. I did a collaboration, which was interesting and very difficult to sing in all those languages. But the bit where it showed me the people, I went to visit a charity in every single country in the world.
Wow.
So I saw like
Every country?
every single one.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was quite a big job, but it was good.
That's amazing.
It was a good job. It's a good job. And I got to see all the gorgeous people doing gorgeous things.
What was the through line for you?
The through line?
Yeah, like what was the thing you realized was the same?
I think we have this idea that people that we don't agree with, this is a running theme in everybody's phone right now, people that we don't agree with are just really bad and they're so different to us.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
I agree.
They're really not different to us.
Yeah.
You know, people love, people fall in love, people get pain when love hurts them. That happens to everyone. People, they all want their kids to be okay. All of them. Like it's just human.
Yeah.
We are just human. You know, I was talking to Cody. He was a Marine and he fought in Iraq. And
So he's quite a tough guy.
he's a tough guy. Yeah. He's a strong guy, but in his heart, he's soft and so sweet.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the Taliban. Now, I made a comment once, which I can be sarcastic sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think they put it on bloody Fox News or something. I don't know.
Right.
And they were like making fun of me because they thought I was being serious, but I kind of am. I was saying they just need a hug, right?
Right.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to go up to a member of the Taliban and give them a hug because they will kill me.
Right.
And I got that feeling when I was in Afghanistan. These people, they definitely want to kill me. But they are just human.
They are just a little kid who grew up to a big person.
Exactly.
Right.
They all probably, I imagine, loved their mum. And if they've had kids, they would fight and die for their children.
Absolutely.
You know, so this goes for everyone. You know, so Cody was a soldier. He was fighting other soldiers. These are men. And he was like, in that moment, you can't think like that.
No, you can't.
If you do, you're dead.
Yeah.
But now he's like, I see that now and I do. This is just a man fighting for what he believes in, for what he's been taught to believe in.
His whole life.
It's not, they're not evil. There's no evil going on here. There's just indoctrination.
Yes.
And I will indoctrinate my children the way I want to.
Absolutely.
And you will indoctrinate yours the way you want to.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
just
you,
us.
as a parent,
We're just
you
human.
think you have to believe as a parent you're doing the right thing
Have to.
by teaching your kids like the values you care about.
Yeah.
You're trying your best to lead your kids into a life of happiness, of success.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I
like
want them to be okay.
being a productive member of society and a good person or whatever.
Yep.
But my idea of that might be different from
Well, yeah, exactly.
someone else.
Some countries it's dog eat dog.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, they might be under duress and they might not have the luxury to be like, I want you to keep this road clean.
So
Yeah,
you married
you know.
a real patriot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. He's a real patriot.
That's
which
amazing.
is so funny because, I mean, I suppose I am. Like, I'm one of those English people that like loves the royal family.
Yeah.
I love all that.
Yeah,
I think
you're
it's
very
so
English.
magic. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a dangerous thing for someone to like put their flag outside the house. I think it's really sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I see
Yeah.
like, that's nice.
Yeah.
So Cody put one up outside our house. I said, you better put the English one up right there with it.
Yeah.
So we have two. So
That's sweet.
I do think it's really nice.
You live in Nashville?
Yeah, just outside of Nashville. There's loads of studios, great musicians.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
That's great.
And
It's
there's
such a nice
trees
place.
And there's deer. I drive
And it's like
home through
very
the deer.
America.
Oh, it's very, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
I get a kick out of America. I think it's really,
We're
it's
funny.
really fun.
Yeah.
It is funny. You guys are funny. Definitely funny.
I love America.
Yeah.
I'm from Maryland, which is a very much that. It's a country place.
Is it?
And I grew up in a very it's a very kind of southern place.
Yeah.
So that's very nice though. Cody sounds great.
Cody is great. He's lovely.
So you guys have been married a year.
We've been married a year. Yeah.
Together for 5.
Yes.
5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have our 5th anniversary soon.
That's great.
It is really nice. I do think, do you know what? The marriage thing always sort of made me think, oh, I don't know if people should do that. You know?
Yeah, I get it.
I'd have moments
that
of
way
like
too.
being very traditional and then being like, hang on, that's stressful. It's so not stress. It took out the stress.
It's so great.
Yeah, it's removed the stress.
The right person does do
Yeah.
that to your life.
Yeah, yeah. And now I'm like, well, we're married, so you can fight me, but sucker, you're with me forever.
Yeah. Yeah, we got these two over here that
Yeah,
look like
exactly.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of lovely. My kids don't look like me at all.
Okay.
Violet looks like Cody, and
That's
Shaq
funny.
looks like my dad.
That's funny.
Damn
That's
it!
funny.
I've got to have a couple more.
Yeah. But 2's a lot though. 2's a handful.
How many have you got? You got 2.
2, yeah.
2.
Yeah. I have friends with 3 and 4, and I'm like, how do you do that? 2 was,
Yeah.
I felt like
It is a lot.
overwhelmed, even though I was, I mean, now they're teenagers, so we're like kind of easy now.
Oh, because they just like do their own
They
thing.
do their own thing.
So
and-
what do you do with social media? Do you let them have a phone and stuff?
Yeah. 15 and 16, you're not stopping that.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Really?
At about 14, it's over.
No way.
Yeah, you can control it till about 14. Then
Damn.
then you're like,
Then you'll be the big bad monster if you don't give them a phone.
yeah, you're like living in a different time or something. They're like, so
Oh God.
you guys just gotta trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't trust anyone else though.
I don't either,
That's
but
the problem.
well,
You have to trust how, like, the tools you've given them, right?
yeah, and you just gotta tell them, like, guys, gotta remember, like, anyone can be anyone they want. So
Yeah.
as long as you know when you're out, when you're in when you're surfing through the interwebs, that people are presenting what they want you to see
Yeah.
and not what they want you to know.
Yeah.
So don't be so gullible to think that that's the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter how great you think,
Yeah.
anyone is, they're only showing you what they want to present. It's like when I go out and market something,
Yeah.
I'm marketing
You're talking
it.
about that
I'm not
thing,
going to
yeah.
say it's fucking not great
No.
or that I'm fucking worried about how it's going to do. I'm going to say it's fucking great.
Right.
So I was just telling them, like, look,
Yeah.
choose what you want to look at and believe, but remember that it's all kind of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And these days, everybody's their own kind of TV channel.
Yeah.
But like, be skeptical of the people that are trying to get you to believe that they're something, because most people are just people. So if you look in their closet, you're going to see some dirty laundry.
So when do you start having those conversations with them?
14, 15,
About 14.
like when they start saying, like, yeah, that's when it all kicks off. I think.
Yeah.
13,
Funny when they're
14,
so little,
15.
it's like, you don't want to say, be afraid of everyone. You
No,
know?
you don't.
But you also don't want them to just be like running into strangers' cars.
Yeah.
I would never be away from my kid long enough for that to happen.
Yeah,
but it's
that's
like,
the thing, is you probably wouldn't.
right. I certainly wouldn't.
Yeah,
I don't send them to like daycare or nursery or anything like that.
that's good.
I'm like, no, you
Yeah.
stay with me. If they go to a class, I'm coming with you. I'm
Yeah.
going to sit in the hallway.
Well, that says to me that that's someone who's been in the world
Yeah.
and has experienced deception, has experienced people doing things and being dishonest. And I
Yeah.
think that that's actually normal when you're as experienced as you are. I mean, you've been making music and touring and doing all that since you were 16.
Long time.
So
Yeah.
you have decades of experience with people that are either want something from you in some instances, that are trying to manipulate you in some instances, that are deceiving you in some way. And then you have the other side, which is people who are just giving you
I just want to jam.
unbridled love and affection and attention. And that isn't even that honest,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not to say it's not great because
No, but it's
they're
a surface level
expressing-
thing because
but
they don't know you.
It's surface level.
Yeah.
They don't actually know you.
No, they don't know.
So they're
and
like-
if they did, they'd be like, "Oh my god."
So it's not. That's the thing is like when someone who's like loves your music comes up to you and is like, "You changed my life."
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna say, "Well, actually, I didn't change your
I
life."
didn't. You did it.
You did,
Yeah,
and
you
this is
did it.
probably what
And it
you
helped.
did, and my
Yeah.
music maybe inspired you or gave you a soundtrack, or it was a
Yeah.
positive force in your psyche to go forward and try and take care of yourself, love yourself, all that. So
Yeah.
I'm happy I played a role,
Yeah.
a positive role in your life, but you actually had to do the work.
They had to do it,
Yeah,
and they should take the credit for that.
right, but you can't even get into that.
No, you can't
it
because it's such a quick. It's a
feels-
quick moment.
It's a quick moment, or it
Yeah.
might feel like rejection. But like that's the reality of when you're out there for 20 years
Mm-hmm.
in the world, expressing yourself, and people are agreeing.
Yeah, I had to have. Well, I had a day of media training when I was younger.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my
when we
God.
first got
They were
on.
like, okay, Joss, you cannot tell people you don't like your single. I'm like, well, then you shouldn't have made me sing it
yeah.
and then put me in front of a camera and ask me to lie about that. No. So then they had me do a
That's
day of
funny.
media training, and that did not go very well.
Yeah.
That was funny. But I am who I am.
Yeah,
And I
you
did
say
not
what
like the
you think.
single at the time.
You know, it's funny. I always found you to be as a spectator. I always found you to be very much an say what's on your mind kind of person. Mm-hmm. And when I sit with you, I realize it's true, but it's with a lot of like warmth, which is different than anger.
Oh yeah, no anger.
It's just a warm, honest truth.
Yes. When I was younger, I had the anger, I think. And
Okay.
I only had it for I feel like it was like a 2-year
Yeah.
period.
Yeah, that's normal.
And I'm
bit of-
glad I had that. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad I got over it quickly and I don't hold it still now because that's tiring.
That's probably likely like a part of your growth.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Go
You
through
have to
it,
do it. You
like
have to
phases.
go. Yeah, I think being a teenager is like annoying for anyone.
And then in front of people.
And then in front of people, yeah. And then you have to, I certainly had to like sort of fight to sing the songs I wanted to sing
Yeah.
or wear the clothes I wanted to wear. Like really like simple stuff. You should not have to fight to do that. You should just be able to do that. But now
Yeah.
I've decided, no, I don't have to fight. I just have to do it. Why did I think I had to fight?
Yeah, why did I think
Why did I think I
why
had to
did I
fight
think
for-
I couldn't just say no?
Yeah.
Nah.
We can just
Because
say no.
when you're young and
Yeah.
there's all these adults
Yeah.
and they're the big, important, powerful,
Yeah.
the manager, the label, and you're like,
I
oh
have
my
to do
God.
this. I have to. You
This
don't have
is-
to do anything.
No, actually you don't.
You can just say no and with a smile.
And like I
Yeah.
think a lot of artists need to hear that because there's
Yes.
artists that are full grown that still feel like they have to fight
Yeah.
to be themselves.
I know. Yeah.
And I kind of say it all the time. I'm like, listen,
Why do you? Yeah.
if some A&R guy is sitting there telling me what song to put on my record and I don't like the fucking shoes he's wearing,
Be like, bye bye.
there's no way I'm listening to him about a song. No. Because it's style.
Oh
It's
my
taste.
God. Yes, exactly.
It's a thing.
I think if you were sort of unsure of what you were doing, like, okay, I want to try a new style of music. I've never done this before. And I don't know, what chord progression is normal in this style. Then you can open up your heart to going, hey, can you tell me what I
Yeah,
should
what do you
be
think?
doing? But if you are fully clear
And just go
on
with it.
who you are
Yeah.
and what you want to do, what you want to say, what you want to sound like, you don't need to ask someone's permission. Oh my goodness. That's completely mental. Just have to go do it.
I also found somewhere in the process, the end all be all isn't the metrics of the success of the record or the song. It isn't the end all be all.
No, it's not.
The
yeah.
end all be all is actually how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And then if I start to care the most about that and protect that, it all works itself out. And you,
Because then the people that receive it love it because you
Yeah.
love it. Mm-hmm. If you don't love it, then they're not going to love it.
I agree with that.
They're going to feel that. Even if you're singing words that they don't understand, they're going to feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an energy thing.
So
Now I sound like super hippie, but
no,
it
but
is
I'm a
the
little
truth.
hippy dippy sometimes.
Just the truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
It's all, there's something to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we can market the shit out of something. If it's
disingenuous.
And if you didn't,
it's not
if
gonna
you
work.
didn't like it before,
Yeah.
you're not going to like it after.
No.
Doesn't matter how big it is.
It's going to be worse.
And you're not going to enjoy singing that every night.
Yeah.
You got to be super excited
I
about your
remember
music.
they used to say to me, they used to say Tina Turner didn't like Private Dancer or something like that. She didn't like it. I was like, how do you see this as a positive, guys? Why are you telling me this as a positive?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, she hated it and it was a big hit. I'm like, so she had to say that for the rest of her life. Guys, you are missing the point. But they were coming from a different perspective.
Yeah, they were just
It was
thinking
a
about
business-
hits. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a business kind of decision. Now, what I had to learn is to not be mad at people that didn't like what I liked. So
Absolutely.
don't yuck someone else's yum, right? So you've got some people love business. That is their passion.
Yeah.
Do not yuck that.
Yeah.
Let them do that.
Let them do it.
I love music. I don't want them to yuck it. So they should let me do it.
Yeah.
We can do these things separately
Yeah.
and have dinner, laugh,
They
joke,
can work
go to
well
the pub.
together and find a middle
Yeah.
ground for sure.
They can work well together, yeah.
Yeah.
Or not. They
Or
can
not.
work separately and then still be happy people.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to do it. We don't have to do this.
It's
Yeah.
true. But what stage of your development or career or whatever did you feel like you really came into that self-awareness and that like place where you realized like, oh, I actually don't have to answer to anyone but myself. I answer to the people that I love. I answer to the people that I respect and the people that I work with. But at the end of the day, I'm not working for anyone. I'm making art and I'm expressing myself.
Yeah.
And I'm confident in that. Like, was there a switch?
There was a switch. Now, I don't know if there was a proper switch. I think I've sort of had that in me since I was young because
Right.
of the way my parents are.
Right.
So my mum always said to me, you can do anything you want, love. You know, she's very like creative and she was like, you're amazing, you know?
Yeah.
And my dad was like, play to your strengths.
Right.
You cannot do anything you want. You know?
Right.
But my dad said, no one can make you do anything ever.
Right.
And that just rang around in my head. Like, because I think he would repeat it a lot. And it just rang in my head. I remember
What a
being
good statement to
so
have.
important. No one can make you do anything ever.
Right.
Yeah. So then every action you make is on you.
Yeah, you decide.
It's on you. You decide,
Yeah.
you know. So I think that's been really helpful to me, just having that. I remember when I was I left school at 14. I didn't do much school. I actually got kicked out of school.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't do anything wrong. I just had a job
Right.
and they didn't like love me there.
Right.
But
Where was the school?
it was in Ufcombe School.
Okay.
Bloody hell. Now, okay, so
Is
they
that
asked
where
me.
in England is that?
It's, do you know Devon?
Yeah.
It's in Devon. So in a little village called Ufcombe, just off of Junction 27. And I went there for a bit and they'd asked me to leave because I wasn't going because I was singing. And the head of the school had a meeting with my mum saying, you know, when's all this singing stuff going to stop?
All this nonsense.
Yeah, like when's she going to, you know, because our books, she's a bit tardy.
Yeah.
Mum was like, well, I hope it doesn't stop. We want to encourage her, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I was in like the bottom sets. I wasn't going to do anything else, you know. So anyway, so they said, no, you have to go. And now they have a bloody venue and a studio
There
and
you go.
everything.
Isn't
And
that
they
funny?
want me to like go in there and open it and stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm not
Isn't that
going.
funny? Yeah.
I'm not going
That's
back there.
funny, yeah.
But I'm glad they have that. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
But I remember talking to one of the teachers because he had like shouted at this little boy and he was so big. He was so big. And this little boy was so, you know how boys take a long time to shoot up, don't they?
Yeah, some of us.
So, you know.
I was a late
and I was
bloomer.
like, were you?
Yeah.
Oh, I always felt sorry for the
A
little ones.
Yeah.
Just like,
little guy.
bless him.
Yeah.
And he's being shouted at by this massive bellowing man. I said to him, hey, stop doing that. So, of course, then I got in trouble.
You got in trouble.
And I had to sit there and I had to sort of talk to this guy. And it was all like, we're going to expel you, la, 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 la. And I remembered my dad. I remember him saying, you know, no one can make you do anything ever. You know, this is a really important attitude to have. When I'm talking to him, I'm like, okay, with all respect, you shouldn't be. I felt like he was trying to make the little boy do whatever he wanted him to do. And I was like, that he was scared and you weren't protecting him. Yeah.
This is wrong.
And I felt like that was, even though that's not an important thing to anybody other than me, that moment was like, okay, this has taught me how to deal with really scary, big people that are acting like they're in power.
Right.
And to protect people that aren't. So that helped me with all of the things that I've dealt with in the music industry and all of the things, doing the world tour, all of it. It's like, just look after those that need looking after. Know that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to listen to someone if you don't want to listen to them. You don't have to walk into their office and sit down and listen to the head teacher if you don't want to. If you wanted to, that's on you. You don't have to do shit.
Right.
So it's up to you. And I think that was helpful. That little moment was like, I can do this. I'm brave and I can be polite at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It does. It's funny. I think that side of you comes out when you sing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Aw.
There's quite a lot of strength
Yeah.
when you sing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I think that artists are super dynamic people.
Oh, yeah.
So we have different sides.
Yeah.
And they come out in different places. Some when you're creating, some when you're on stage, some when you're in an interview or you're interacting with people. And then there's this other side of you in life, like this person I'm sitting with.
Yeah.
And they're different sides.
Yep.
And I think that on stage and when you sing, it's like a very strong.
Different songs, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the way that I've tried to write songs, I don't know if I've achieved the goal, but I try to sort of, if I'm talking about something that's upsetting, which a lot of songs are about something that's upsetting, aren't they?
Yeah.
Love is hard.
Yeah, love is hard.
Oh, I try to have, I try to have a bridge that gives you hope. So if someone is listening to that and they're feeling like, oh, you know, I've got unrequited love in my life or whatever it is, there is a softness in us all. There's a vulnerability in us all.
Yeah, deep need.
Yeah, where we have that like, oh, I just want to be like, okay, fuck. And then you get to the bridge and then it's like, fuck it, I'm going to be okay. And this is how I'm going to be okay. And you're not going to kind of control me. And I think that try to keep that theme so then people get strength from it.
Yeah.
And it gives me strength in those moments too, because I have to tell the story. But God, I've had some ridiculous moments happen where I didn't feel strong.
Yeah.
And now I sing songs about those moments and it's very strong.
See, that's the thing is when I say, when did you realize you didn't have to do anything? It's not that I think you ever did anything you didn't want to do. I think you come into a game that's a bit dishonest with an honest attitude.
Oh, gosh,
and then you don't realize the game that everyone else is playing a little bit.
Yeah.
And then as you get to know the game, you realize there's these other rules I didn't know about.
Yeah, I don't know what they're on about. All these, I completely understand what you're saying, and you've just put it in like a little cute sentence.
And
there.
then you grow up and you go, oh,
yeah,
I don't have to listen to you guys.
We don't have to do that.
All this advice you're giving me is almost like you're filling the space with words because you want to reinforce how important you are and why I should listen to you. So I kind of listened to you because I believed you and you were lying.
Yeah.
Because nothing's actually important except the art, and the art is coming from the artist, and the artist has to love it.
Being honest is the most important thing.
Being honest.
I think so. For you and for the listener, for everyone, for every single person involved. Even if, okay, so this is set up. There's a bunch of people in this. I don't know how many people are in this room. What have we got? 2, 4, 6.
6.
Okay, so it takes more than one person to do a job,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And honesty is the most important thing you can have when you are trying to do anything with anyone else.
Together.
You have to have that honesty.
Otherwise, what are we doing?
Well, it's a bloody nightmare if you don't have it.
It's a mess.
Because people think something's happening. It's not happening. It's like it causes dramas within the group. It stops productivity. It makes people feel upset.
Waste time.
And, like, nothing good comes from not being honest. And the same goes for writing a song and giving it to someone. If you're going to give them bullshit, that is not going to be a good thing coming back to you.
Yeah.
They're not going to feel good, and neither are you.
Right.
It's the same with anything. Anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's
it's very
deep.
simple.
That's kind of deep, though. It's
Is it?
simple and deep.
Yeah. Straightforward. Life is very straightforward if you let it be.
It's very
You know?
straightforward and complicated
Only if you let it be.
if you let it be.
Mm.
And the complication can come from dishonesty.
Yes. See,
And
that is the problem.
whatever the cause of the cause of the dishonesty is it might
Yes.
not be evil. It might be
No,
fear. It might be
Usually fear, isn't it?
yeah, a lot of fear. Like I'm afraid to hurt someone's feelings, or I'm afraid
Yeah.
to say no to someone, or I'm afraid. We all experience this all the time. I tell my kids all the time, like,
Yeah.
you're gonna lie because we all lie when we're afraid. We lie our way out of something because we're afraid.
Nothing good can come from fear, right?
Right.
Mm.
And then it takes you off your path, and then you're digging a deeper hole because you're afraid instead of just,
Mm.
it always feels better to kind of, the truth always works,
It does work.
you know?
Yeah.
I always like say that. It's weird because it does kind of work.
It does work. It can throw people sometimes.
Yeah.
Which might not work for like them in that moment. You know, sometimes if you're honest, like too quick before you know someone,
Yeah.
and you know how to be tactful with them.
It can really
It can be
jar
like-
people.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, you can see that like physical reaction, like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I should have been softer. I should have sugarcoated that one.
Yeah.
But I'm just too tired to be doing that.
And it's easier to be consistent when you're
God.
coming from that place too.
Yeah. And people will get to know that you're just being honest. You're
Yeah.
not being mean.
Well, they start to rely on it.
Yeah.
They start to really
To trust you.
to like it
Yeah.
because there's something really nice about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I like that.
It's just better. It's just life is just better like
Yeah.
with the truth.
Yeah.
If you have it, you might not have it.
You might
not
not
know
have
what
it,
it is.
yeah.
So just say I don't bloody know.
Yeah.
Don't pretend you know.
Which is also a
Yeah.
really nice, honest answer when you're in dealing with anything, when you ask someone something and they don't feel the pressure to come up with an
To
answer.
make something up. Yeah.
Instead of just going, you know what? I don't know. I always say, I don't know, but I'll find out.
Yeah.
And then I go try to find out.
Yeah.
And then I'm either coming back with some answer or I'm going, I couldn't find out.
Yeah.
I'm stumped.
I don't know. How about ask someone else?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Ask that guy. Okay. So have you read the Love Languages book?
No.
Do you know your love language?
Well,
you ever-
tell me about it
Okay,
and
so-
I'll likely be able to tell you what mine
Okay. So
is.
there's 5.
What's yours?
Mine is quality time and acts of service.
Oh,
And
that's
code-
how you show love?
That's how I show love, and that's how I
You like
receive it.
to
Yeah, it's my
receive it, right.
language. So the idea is if you're speaking Chinese to someone that's speaking French, there's going to be a couple things that get missed.
Okay.
You know, you might get the body language, you might get some of it, but
Right.
you're not going to get everything, are you? Because you're
Right.
speaking 2 different languages.
Yeah.
So there's 5 love languages. It's a very short book. You can do like a little quiz online and find out your love language.
Okay.
So Cody's is words of affirmation for sure.
Mm.
And that one is the bottom one for me.
Oh,
So I'm like, shit. Okay. So there,
probably
what is
like-
it? It's gifts,
yep.
words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, and touch, physical touch. And a lot of men
sense.
think that they're physical touch.
Yeah.
And actually, you might do the quiz and find out you're something else.
Okay.
But yeah, physical touch and words of affirmation for Cody. And for me, the words were on the bottom. I sort of like felt uncomfortable if people say like too many nice things to
Right.
me, you know?
Interesting.
So then I don't say them as well. So
Right.
I had to,
You're like, that's
just
not
knowing
necessary.
that. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I don't need to say it. Like he knows I love him.
Yeah.
So I had to really put it in my mind every morning, be like, he's words of affirmation, Joss. That's what he is. That's what he is. If you think he looks gorgeous, just tell him.
Yeah.
Just
Say
open
it.
your mouth and
Say it
say
out
it.
loud. Yeah.
And it is brilliant. Just so brilliant, you know. And if Cody unloads the dishwasher, I'm like,
You're such a good man.
yeah, because it helps me, you
That's
know.
my man.
And he'll like set up my studio for me and he'll put like,
Yeah, he does stuff for you.
he does stuff. He like
He's a
me
man.
do things. Yeah.
I
And
like
it's-
Cody.
Yeah, I love Cody.
He's a man.
Great. It's brilliant.
I feel like Cody would be like a good guy. He's a good guy
He is a good
to
guy.
have.
Oh, he's a
like-
good guy to have on your side?
Yeah,
That's
like,
for sure.
I want that guy on my team.
You want him in your stockade.
Solid.
So my dad has this game that we play. It's actually really bad because the whole family starts fighting when we play this
That's
game.
great. I love those games.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So it's like after a lot of wine has been drunk and,
Yeah.
people start arguing about this. But he's like, look, we need to discuss the stockade. Who would be in your stockade?
Yeah.
And why? And it can get
Like
so
apocalypse stockade. Okay,
harsh.
got it.
So everything's gone to shit.
Yeah, who's in your...
You have nothing.
Yeah.
Everyone's fighting each other for food and
Who's
all
in
that
your
kind
squad?
of stuff. Like, who's there out of the people that you know? And, he would ask us to look at our immediate friends when we were younger. He's like, is that person in your stockade? And we were like, yeah, I love him. He's great. He's really fun. Why?
Yeah, what's he going to do?
Why is he in there? Like, oh God.
Or what's he bring to the table?
Weed?
Yeah.
But no, that's not going to be enough.
No.
We do not need to be high right now. We are like,
Yeah.
that is not the purpose of the stockade. So you have to look at, and that can get a bit hairy in conversation.
But it's nice to realize that the person you married is
He's in my
actually
stockade,
like a real one.
Yeah.
You're like, that guy,
Oh yeah.
he's down.
He's down. And he's so protective. He's so
Yeah.
loving. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his heart's in the right place. But it's good. I think it's good to have a balance in a family unit. So our children will grow up with a balance from their grandparents to their parents. Like, I actually think it should be done this way, or I think it should be done this way.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what do you think? Rather than dad's a wanker, mum's a bitch. We're
Right.
not doing that.
Right.
It's just all balance. Everything is for discussion,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful part of life.
It's real too. That's how the world is.
Yeah. And through those conversations, you have like thoughtful moments where you might change your mind on certain things.
It's interesting. What strikes me is it feels to me like the most important aspect of your life is your family.
Yeah.
It's really sweet.
Yeah, it's the best. That's
Yeah.
the reason.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah. I love them.
I feel like you cracked the code.
Oh yeah. Finally I got there.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I was
feel like
trying to
that.
get to.
Yeah.
And finally I got them.
I see it. You're all about art and experience.
Yeah, just life. I think each person has a responsibility to themselves
Yeah.
to be happy.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
if you're not happy, you're not really very good for anyone.
Yeah, if you're not happy,
So-
you got to figure it out.
You
gotta,
do,
because
and
you're
you
only
can't
going to
rely on anyone
be
else
as
to do it.
happy as you are right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I always say that. We're only going to be as happy as we are right now, so we better figure it out.
Yeah, we've got to figure it out. And it's up to us. And we can't blame the world.
Yeah.
We can't blame anyone else. It can't be like, oh, well, they won't let me do this because I signed a thing. Oh, no one. What do you mean let you?
Yeah, you got to do it.
It's on you. You have to do it. And if your dream is to make people smile with songs, then go ahead and do it. Even if you can't sing a lick, I guarantee you people will smile if you stand in a park with a guitar and bang away. Doesn't matter how good you are. If that's what you want to do, you can do it. You can go and do it in the pub. Go do it. I just wanted to do something positive and not waste. I don't want to be like purposeless.
Yeah.
I
think that's one of the coolest things I've heard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's very, very cool. It really gives me like a lot of insight into you and your music. It really does. It's really great.
Oh, good.
It's really awesome. That's why I do this show.
Well, I mean, you've asked very different questions, like deep. It's like totally different interviews. So
yeah,
you're going to
it's
see a
different.
different piece
Yeah.
of people. Like this must have been so interesting for you doing this.
It is.
Like, yeah.
It always is.
Yeah.
Because I like to understand really talented people. They're special. They have something that maybe it was some experience or maybe it was all the experience, but you get insight into like, not just why are they successful? Why do so many people like them? But you get to see why someone is. You understand their whole catalog almost
Right.
when you understand how they think.
Yeah.
And how they see the world and
Yeah.
like how they decide things. Mm-hmm. I think that you have a really great approach to how you make your art. It's coming from a good place.
Yeah.
And you're trying to
Absolutely.
experience something
Yeah.
and connect with people.
And
And
give people that experience.
yeah,
I want to feel, or I want to give the feeling that I got when I listened to Aretha Franklin when I was really young. I remember thinking, oh my God, that's so exciting. Like,
yeah.
I remember her.
How does she do that?
I mean, yeah, like it was cool. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was an advert commercial for her greatest hits, and it come on the TV. I was like, this woman's voice, and goosebumps. I was like, oh, this is so amazing. It made me feel like just excited. And I had to run upstairs and get a pen and paper and write her name down because I'd never heard of Aretha Franklin before. And it was just like, wow, that's magic. If I can give that magic to people, then this is a cool little life,
Yeah, it's
if I can
special.
be part of that,
Yeah,
that's cool.
it's very special.
Yeah, it's like,
It's interesting. You're one of those voices and artists that have a real, it's like Aretha Franklin, or you could name some other singers that have a real timeless, like you could sing in any decade.
oh,
You know what I mean?
That's nice.
There's something about that's really like
That's
hard
nice.
to be,
That's nice.
I would say,
Apart from this one, auto-tune and me are not going to make friends ever.
yeah, but what's interesting is you
Right.
haven't tried to conform
No,
to a time.
no, we just do.
You're just doing
We
what
just
you do
yeah.
when you do it,
Yeah,
or you take some time off,
make good sounds.
and then you'll know when it's time
Yeah,
because you want to say something, you want to sing something.
yeah.
And I suspect that you'll discover, I'll bet you any amount of money that you'll discover in the next 10 years what that actually means and why that's so important, because I think you'll likely do something that is really musically important.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely. I think you have one of those.
know about
I think you have one of those voices that's just like, timeless is a hard word. It's a word that's hard to, it's very hard to say something is timeless. And it's not just because of the style of the music. There's something in a vocal that you could hear.
That's someone's heart.
Yeah.
That's what you're hearing.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
there's a lot of
someone's
soul in it.
heart. Yeah, because the human emotion is not going to go out of fashion.
Yeah.
So if you're hearing someone's heart from the 20s, you feel it here today.
Yeah.
It's kind of great
It's
that we
pretty
can
crazy.
record
That's
sound.
the power of music.
Yeah.
So what are you working on now?
So now, well,
Tell me
everything's
what you're
about
working
my
on.
kids.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh God, I realize when I
You're
chat,
like-
I'm like, God, I always talk about my kids, but Violet, I was trying to play her soul music. I mean, I do still. And she was really into Fight the Power by the Isley Brothers. The bass
Okay.
line was like, she was loving that.
Yeah.
But mostly she liked dance music.
Okay.
So, and obviously I've probably stepped foot in a club like 3 times in my life. Like,
Okay.
I'm just like, I don't
Really?
know.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't know anything about that type of
All
music.
right.
But then, okay, so
It's fun though.
it's fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun. And I have no idea how to make that. So I was like, right, Vivi, I know you need to hear something that you can dance to. So I was like, hey, Google, play disco music. And now that is it. That's the vibe in the house. It's disco. And it's soul music. It's all soul.
Yeah,
It's
disco
all
is
old school
like
soul, like
true
70s disco.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the vibe.
Are you going to make a
love
disco
that.
record?
I'd love to make a disco
I
record.
think you would crush a disco record.
Love to.
Yeah.
So-
I think you would just
You think it'd be good?
crush it.
Yeah. I've got a couple tunes
I think
that
it's a
love,
great idea.
so- You do?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And I think you should
I'll
go
pop that in
all the way with
suggestion
it.
box. Yeah.
I think you should try to make a disco record like they made disco records.
That's what I want to do. Yes.
Musicians.
I want to like cut it to tape.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be really nice to have that option. Like,
If you
I like
if you can
making
do it to
music
tape,
like-
fine. The live
But at
aspect
least
of
the live
disco
aspect
was
of it for sure.
really special.
and the strings, like
Yeah.
the orchestration in those records, they are so
Incredible.
great
Yeah.
and very simple, but
Yeah.
just like emotional. So
Yeah.
good. Those bass lines. Oh,
Yeah, that was the song.
that was the
You
song.
had to have a
The
sick,
bass line was the
sick
song.
bass line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. So, yeah. And it's not too like far away from, it's soul music faster.
Yeah, it is.
I just love it.
Yeah.
And then, that was it. I did a song with the Shapeshifters, Simon Marlin.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting how we got linked up. It was a makeup artist of mine that I've known since I was a kid. Literally just DM'd him or something. Was like, you need to work with Joss. And then that was it. So we ended up linking and he was like, so how do you know Daryl? I'm like, what do you mean? I thought you knew Daryl, the makeup artist. He's like, no, he just DM'd me randomly. I was like, oh my God. So now we're doing this song together. It's called Bring on the Rain. It's out. But it's the
that's good.
first time I've heard my voice on a dance record.
That's great.
It's like, oh,
Do you like it?
I really liked
Oh,
it.
good.
but this is nice. Because most of those dance records, they sort of are, they've taken samples from old school soul records and disco records. Like, you know, Donna Summer is like definitely that. So it's kind of magic, isn't it? Anyway, that's what I'd like to do. I'm working on it, but it's not got anywhere yet, apart from in my little studio in my garden.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
You do?
Well, you're iconic.
Oh, no. I don't know
You
about
are.
that.
You are iconic.
No, I'm not.
You're. Let me just tell you, you're iconic, and I think iconic people do iconic shit. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter why, but there's something that I could hear that record, so that's exciting to me.
Be fun, wouldn't
What
it?
about live? Are you doing any shows?
Oh, yeah. So we've got at the end of April, I'm doing like a co-headline with Melissa Etheridge.
Amazing.
So that's pretty fun
That's insane.
because she is a big influence to me. My mum went to a gig of hers when I was in her belly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So she's an influence.
She's a big influence
Yeah.
to me. Yeah, for sure. She's the only real rock-esque influence that I had. It was all like a lot of big soul voices in the house.
Really?
And then Melissa Etheridge was like the rockiest. I know
Yeah.
it's not like straight
No, it's rock.
hardcore rock, but it's rock soul.
Melissa Etheridge is
Would you
very
consider that
rock
rock?
and roll to me.
It's rock, isn't it?
And-
but her
and
voice is like soul.
It's iconic.
So I'm like, this. I have always loved her,
Yeah,
and I know
she's
every
dope.
word to pretty much every one of her songs. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a fan. So I'm a fan. So I play before her, and then she plays.
Yeah.
And if I'm lucky, I'll get to jump up on stage with her. Fingers crossed, she'll let me do that.
Yeah.
I would like to do that. That would be really nice.
So you would love to sing with her.
Oh yeah, I have sung with her once.
Right.
That's how we got to know each other. When I was about 17, the Grammys wanted to honor Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
And so they asked Melissa to do that and me.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
That was the first time we met.
And then you became friends. She
And
seems cool.
She is cool. She's lovely.
Yeah.
She's just, I love her. So it's exciting to be able to do that.
You're killing it.
Oh,
You really are. I'm really happy for you.
thank you so much.
I hope I get to meet Cody one day.
Oh, yes, you will.
Do we cover the things that on the
Yeah.
music side that you want
Yeah.
to talk about?
No, I think we did. What
All
did
right.
What did we not do? Oh, the live album.
Okay, the live album. We didn't talk about the live album.
So I made a live album.
Okay.
And I did that because the fans asked for it. You know what? The best thing about the social media stuff that we didn't have when we first started.
Yeah, we didn't.
You remember them days?
Yeah.
When there was none of that silliness?
Yeah.
We just went to play.
And there was like actual like fan mail.
Yeah.
People would write you letters.
Yeah, real letters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah.
That was a real thing.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if people come to the gig, it was either word of mouth or they heard it on the radio or on TV or something
Yeah.
like that. But now it's all like immediate. It's right there, which is actually very annoying because that means we have to do a lot more work. But it's also wonderful because I get to talk directly to them. Like I can literally have a conversation.
Yeah. You can.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
So a couple times I've done some like artwork competitions and stuff for the records. I did one for this last single and for the live album. So that was amazing because I got to see all their ideas and
Yeah, it's great.
it was like a collaboration.
They get
It was
to participate.
magic.
Yeah.
And I get to ask them what would they like? What do you want? And so they said a live album, a live album, a live album, a live album. And I was like, shit. Because I've always been a bit nervous about doing that.
It's crazy because you're really good live.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I've never felt like it was all good. I've always
Yeah.
been like, that's not exactly right. And, you know, I think I'm just insecure about that.
I get it.
You know, so
Perfectionist.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
don't want to be shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I've never really wanted to do it. But
That's crazy.
being that they asked, I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. So I did it. And I actually love it. I was a bit emotional when I listened to
That's awesome.
to the mix. I was like, I can't believe it sounds good.
That's great.
It's out. It's been out.
Oh, it's out.
Yeah, it's out.
Great.
It's called 20 Years of Soul.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, darling.
Congrats on everything.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So great.
It's lovely to be here.
It was really nice to talk to you.
Next time we should make tea.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Artist Friendly. If you really liked it, you can follow, like, subscribe to the show anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.
Bad times.